Next up, we're going to be talking about hybrid photography with Panasonic here at International CES 2015.
You're watching YBL TV.
Okay, tell me about the LUMIX Lounge just in brief terms.
Well, Panasonic has a group of luminary photographers that we do business with, professionals, very talented, and the LUMIX Lounge is a gathering place for their social media. So if you want to follow where they're going to be, if you want to learn what kind of photography they take, get tips and tricks, all of that stuff is posted on our LUMIX Lounge. Great thing is, we just updated the site. We've made it much more interactive, much easier for our luminaries to post and link to their own social media feeds as well. So
awesome, thank you so much. Now let me ask you, the GH4, tell me first what it is, tell me what the camera is, and then second of all, what kind of feedback are you getting from consumers?
So the GH4, we're kind of showing it in what I call a Franken camera rig here. It's buried right in the middle here. The GH4 is an interchangeable lens, mirrorless camera. It's a photography camera, but it happens to shoot 4K video and has tremendous video tools for the working video professional. It offers very flat video profiles, so if you want to do any processing in post, it has that capability to be able to do that. It shoots up to 30 frames per second. It even shoots cinematic 4K video, so it can shoot, most cameras only do like 3840 wide, this one can do 4096 wide. So a lot of people are now finding uses for it, mostly for the video space now. It's one of the most flown cameras for professional use, so a lot of people are flying them on drones, using them with our 14mm lens. Second shooters, because it has a native 24p mode, not a 23976, but a 24p mode. If I'm shooting with like an RE film camera versus an RE digital camera, those shoot at 24 frames a second. Well, I don't want to crash cam something like that, but I can cut this in very nicely with that film look because it can shoot 24. Then I can suction cup it to the side of a car if I need it for that use as well. So we're showing it here fully rigged up actually with a battery solution, an external recorder, because the camera records 4K internally, but it doesn't do a 10-bit file, so it's not quite as friendly for editing and post if you want to kind of stretch and push and pull it. Yeah, external recorders will give me a 10-bit file and a 422 color space, so a lot easier for you to compose and post, especially for green screen work. We also have it paired with a PL lens, cinema lens. This is an Leica lens actually. It's in their Summicron series. That is about a $25,000 lens on its own. So T2.0. We're using a Zacuto rig here. So Zacuto makes fantastic rigs. This is a shoulder rig from them. And then we're using a Red Rock Micro matte box. And we're actually paired with an ND6 filter in here because there's a lot of light, so we wanted to show shallow depth of field.
That is so awesome. I thank you so much. Now let me also ask you again, what type of feedback are you getting about the GH4? What are consumers saying, and what are professionals saying?
I think consumers are blown away by the video quality because they've never had access to this kind of quality.
No, not retail.
Yeah, I think what professionals are noticing is how flexible the format is. So if I want to shoot really shallow and get that full frame look or that Super 35 look, you can pair the camera with speed boosters from Metabones. So a lot of them are converting old lenses over and getting a real shallow look. And then they're realizing that if they want to do run and gun work, where their SLRs with the big sensors are almost impossible to do that, they can run and gun with these cameras because they can give you more depth of field as well. So it's a real flexible tool, and I think videographers are finding that it has that tremendous flexibility to be able to do all these things. The one thing we found that was most interesting, the feedback we got that surprised us the most, we introduced a new 4K photo mode, which allowed you to basically shoot like 4x3, 8 megapixel video, and then you could grab frames and print them, because that's, we use 3:2 framing for photography. Well, people are starting to realize that I can buy anamorphic lenses online, and I can shoot a 2x anamorphic and get the true 2.66:1 anamorphic aspect ratio while shooting on a camera that's $1,700. So it's the least expensive anamorphic solution out there. I think really the only negative feedback at this point we've heard is they want that mode to have a 24p or a 23976, which it currently only does 25 or 30, because it was designed for photography, not for video. But maybe with a firmware update, we might be able to fix that.
Just talk about what's hot at CES this year.
So at CES, the GH4 is still hot. Surprisingly, it's been out for well over a year. Our new high-definition camcorders have been really well received.
Talk about hybrid photography, the combination of stills, audio and video. We just want to know, is that the revolution in photography right now?
I think for the photographers that are struggling right now in photography, because there's a lot of people who are photographers who are not really photographers. They've really kind of rotted away the lower end of the photography market and made it a lot harder to earn money at the lower price point. If you want to bulk up your portfolio and make yourself a more well-rounded photographer, to combat against that kind of photography, a hybrid is really the best way to go and do that. And it doesn't mean you have to integrate a huge editing suite to be able to do this stuff. It's really just finding ways to integrate small clips of video and do things in very unique ways. I think photographers could learn how to use video to better market their business. If a photographer could give live lessons on just a given aspect of photography, and that helps to get the word out about what great photographers they are.
Exactly, and it's just, that's amazing. I mean, thank you so much.